like a
We
vibrant
are
right now.
live right now.
Yay!
I don't
Yay,
know if
we're
I'm really talking.
live. If you're watching on Twitch, we'll get you back in.
Hey,
Um,
everybody. Welcome.
Hi.
it may take us a second just
Actually,
to
make the base.
flip over the channel because we were hosting
What kind
someone.
of scene to set
And
for
that
the
base
base?
paint looks
It's
legit
gonna
as
be
shit, I ain't
huge,
gonna lie.
so I'm a little.
So
I'm sorry.
you may have to
what's
refresh the
cooking?
channel because we are live. Quit auto
Alright.
hosting, jerk. There it goes.
Quit off those.
Because we are live.
Oh,
That's my
you're such a
buddy
waywood.
Rainer72, jerk. There it goes.
I hear music in my head.
We are live.
I always hear music in my
That's
head.
my
You're
buddy
waywood.
Rainer72.
crap.
All right, hopefully this is going to settle itself. We should be live and up and going. Everybody
Sweet.
hear us? May not have
I'm
anybody
here.
watching right now.
No, it doesn't look. Does not appear to be anyone here.
Maximum DT says we are live and we are
Oh,
showing.
good.
There we go. All right, guys, we just
Yay.
make sure. I guess every time we're starting to host somebody, it takes a little while for it to flip over to go to us. We're going to be doing a little bit different stuff, guys. I've got some weird things going on.
Oh, yeah?
Just check out what's going on.
Watch out for that first poop.
Watch out for that first poop. It's a
It's
doozy.
a doozy.
Oh, boy. Is there a hashtag for this yet?
Hashtag first poop. There we go. Go for it. Post it up, Dan.
I don't have... My first poop was way long ago.
Oh,
My first poop of the
Hashtag
day-
first poop.
Even poop of the day was a long time ago for me.
Oh, that's so sad.
I
Well.
figured out that problem, Xander, and I got that fixed permanently now, so I don't have to worry about that crap.
What, you eat more roughage now?
No. I went to stream Friday night and was trying to get it all ready, and I kept double hearing myself. I would say something and it would echo forever. And just keep on going and keep on going.
That's
and it was
some trippy shit.
yeah, it was
That's what
pissing me
Sander
off.
Vorlard was saying there. So there's a setting you can change. I forget which one it is. We had that problem when I was hosting stuff, if you remember, and I don't remember what it was to fix it because
Was it in Twitch or was it in XSplit?
It was actually Twitch, and it was the problem with Twitch not muting itself when I clicked mute. It was doing something else. Shit, I
Oh, okay.
forgot about something in the...
that's different then. That's different than
Yeah.
the problem I used to have.
So I was trying to figure it out. So, but we're back up and good. We're sounding pretty good. We're looking pretty good. We're going to have some different
Thank you.
things going on. So just be ready for it. If people come in, it's going to be weird. So it's our first 30 minutes. There's our pre-ramble. Kathy, what'd you do today or this week?
So as everybody who listened last week knows, I got a text from my friend out of the blue asking if we wanted to come and play board games at their house on Monday. And so it turns out that one of our friends lost his job, had some free time. Our other friends work from home, so we were all able to get together on Monday morning and play Age of Renaissance, which, as you all know, is one of my favorite games. And so that was cool. And we talked about a lot of old school games because those guys a million years ago used to play stuff like Advanced Squad Leader and Third Reich and Ardennes and all these historical war games with all the little tiny tokens that you shift around on hex-based maps. And so reminiscing about that stuff. We played. Oh, I left Jim at their house when I went to play D&D on Monday night because D&D is literally 5 minutes down the street.
Oh, okay. That's not as horrible then.
So Jim is over there, and they were talking bolt action and watching sports and just
Go
doing
sports!
stuff.
Sports
I
ball.
don't know if they actually were watching sports because I'm not sure what's on right now. There's-
Hockey and
mean,
baseball and
the-
basketball.
The basketball went to Game 7 of the series, but that wasn't on that night. So I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, so I played D&D and no one died again,
Damn it.
although
Yay!
probably should have.
Yay!
Uh,
Yay!
Otherwise, let's see. Friday. Oh,
Hey, Friday
so
Gonzo.
Friday was Jim's bolt action tournament at Little Wars, and since Little Wars, I will be honest, is a fun little historical convention and it's local, but their website is terrible. It's very difficult to navigate and find stuff. So if you're ever planning to go to Little Wars, be aware of that. But it's worth going. Uh, they mainly do historical games, although they're starting to branch out into sci-fi and fantasy things there as well. The bolt action tournament was very small because it was not advertised like at all. But they will be doing another one next year. So people who play bolt action, be aware that there will be a tournament at Little Wars, which is always the last weekend in April. And hopefully I will be participating next year. Yay!
Yay. Dan,
That's me.
what'd you do this week? As you're off camera drinking alcohol.
It was not alcohol. It was mixer.
Vodka's not real alcohol.
No, it's real alcohol.
It's not real alcohol until you mix it with something.
That's true. That's true. I'll give you that. This week I did a lot of recovering from my travels.
What were you traveling? Where were you traveling?
Well, this weekend I guess is still now. So this one I was home, but the week before that I was in San Diego for Kingdom Con.
Kingdom Con!
How was it?
Not so good. Oh, it's super good, man. It is all the best parts of a house party and a gaming con, and like really all of gaming geek culture, and none of the bad parts of it.
So people bathe.
So, like, people bathe. People like socialize. No one's creepy. There's zero factor at this whole show.
I have to disbelieve you now. I'm sorry, Dan. None of them are creepy.
Yeah.
I know gamers. That's amazing.
Well, it's also SoCal, so it's kind of a different
Laid
atmosphere.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also-
I've been wanting to go to that one for years. Since, what is this, year 5 now?
This is year 9. Next year's year 10.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm super stoked. I'm like already looking forward to next year now.
Now, are you teaching classes at Kingdom Con?
Yeah, I taught some classes this year. It's really great. So I teach with Aaron and Liz from Miniature Monthly teach, which is awesome because they're teaching like really high level intro crafts, boot camp kind of stuff, and I'm there doing like crash course intro, like here's how to get your shit looking cool on the table, and no paint. Well, some painting for the MDF stuff, but it's a lot of like here's how to base your models. It looks cool. Here's how to use Woodland Scenics. So that's been a lot of fun getting out there for that stuff. Also partying super hard. That show is amazing for that. But yeah, it's really great. And those two are amazing human beings, Liz and Aaron. And obviously Ross is amazing. Who's Ross?
Ross Thompson, the one who started it all at Kingdom Con.
Yeah. And I actually played games this week. Yesterday I played Age of Sigmar twice.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Yeah, there was a tournament that I wasn't going to go to. And then on Wednesday I'm like, I can go. And so on Friday I just like proxied all the stuff because all the models I want aren't coming until next week. It's like, hey, T.O., does this count? And he's like, make it clear. So I actually ended up laser cutting some Medusa masks and bows just to blue tack onto some Wrath of Kings models. And they're pretty good, actually. I can show you some. I make this some PreRamble content. I'll show you guys.
That answered the question of what army he's playing.
While he's getting that, I'm going to mention real quick that Jim did calligraphy on the bases of a bunch of his Grey Knight stuff because it was so highly converted. He wanted to be sure that other people knew what it was. So he just like calligraphied the names of what they were on the base.
Jeez. That's awesome. God, Jim is such an inspiration. I talked about Jim. I talked about a bunch of people who helped me learn stuff in my classes. Like Apple does super awesome stuff, and I point them towards him. And Justin from Secret Weapon does good stuff, and I pointed them towards them. Oh yeah. So here's my. Let me do this. Paper behind here. You actually see, but so Wrath of Kings has a Undersea faction, and so I use them as the bases, and they're kind of this sharky dude.
Oh.
And so I laser cut the. Get closer.
I love that head. I love the head.
And then a bow. So like it's the Medusa model with a bow, and it was pretty hilarious. Because they're coming in just next week. But I ended up staying up till 5 in the morning, like making sure all these proxies work and building my stuff. So I played like crap. But I had fun. I tried a new list. I'm playing Grand Alliance Order because I just like having tons of different models to paint. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking for a while. So what's someone else been doing?
Welcome.
Gonzo, what'd you do?
What did I do? Let's see. I streamed a shit ton this week. Worked on a bunch of models. I actually worked on a bunch of your stuff, Dan. I got your wall finished. Got your 2 dials done. And I'm almost done with your base inserts, but we're doing water effects on it, so it may take a few more days.
Right. Are you using the resin kind that you mix and heats up, or just the
no
Woodland Scenic stuff?
The Woodland Scenic type stuff.
Nice.
And whenever we get back and I'll start showing this stuff because I poured another layer of Woodland Scenic today, and I've done I think my 3rd layer. But I painted all that up this week. Got a bunch of stuff. We're gonna give all that away, by the way, guys. So we'll have like 3 winners tonight. One for the bases, one for the wall, and one for both the dials. That way, you and your partner will have a dial.
And painted swag giving away. That's great.
And then I played in a tournament yesterday. Went to OzCon. First time going there. Really nice, small little con. They had a 40K tournament going on. They had our qualifier going on, and Flames of War, I think it was going on. Not Flames of War. What's the other one? What's the other one, Kathy?
Bolt action.
Bolt action. They were doing a bolt action tournament. And they were doing that. Some pretty decent vendors, but they're real small, so everything. They did have the I don't remember the guy's name, but it was one of the guys from Walking Dead, the token black guy. They got killed off not too long ago, a couple of seasons, because people were, and it was bad because people made jokes about him being there because he's no longer in the show, and he wasn't that popular of a character, and yeah, and I was like, dude, he's just trying to make money, he's just trying to make a living, but yes, Tyrese, that's what it was.
Thanks, Maxwell.
Yeah, and he was charging like $20 for a picture, and I was going to do some Twitch streaming and just do the in real life Twitch streaming and just walk around the con, and they were like, well, you can't be around him because if you show him on there, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, well, I'm not paying him money, I'm not gonna do it, and so I didn't do it, but they did give me permission to do it, so next year whenever I do it, I'm going to set it up a little bit different and do some live Twitch streaming. Played a couple of games. Played 4 games. First game against a guy that kind of didn't know what Grimkin did.
I know how that ends.
Yeah, it didn't end very well. But we played a really big learning game. I could have killed him like 2A, but I'm like, no, this guy's new. Let's just play it out. Let's play the control point win was more like it, and teach him how everything goes. And then second opponent I played, he played Grimkin, so it was a Grimkin mirror match. But he didn't know how to play Grimkin, so I was teaching him how to play Grimkin.
I know how that ended.
Yeah. So I played the control point win there also, a long control point win game. Let's see. Third opponent was Brent Simon. If anybody knows, Brent Simon's a really good Signar player, and he's playing a Haley 3 list, and he wiped me down to the man. Total tabled me. Had the wrong list, wrong time. Did score 4 control points, so I got
Plus,
that.
Haley 3 is a bit of bullshit. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
She's really good.
Yeah, she's super good. He's playing Haley 3 with the Trencher theme for us, so it's just completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally foobarred. But it was good learning. Him and I were talking about learning it and about building lists, so we were building on what we did. And then fourth opponent was a friend of mine, Ryan, and he wasn't having a bad day. He was just not feeling good, and he said he wanted to play against Grimkin, but he wants to learn. And I'm like, okay, is this a teach me how to play against Grimkin? What do you want to do? He just said he wanted more of a casual type thing. I said, all right, you care if I take 5 control points to win? He goes, yeah, I'd take it. I don't care. You're gonna be teaching me. You're gonna be taking back seas and all that stuff. And he's like, okay. So we just watched the game out, and then we got together and we learned how to play. He learned how to play against Grimkin, discuss tactics. We didn't even pay attention to the clock because he said he wanted to learn how things worked. And then at that, I got second place because I had 1 more control point than my opponent, the second place guy. My friend Brent got first, and then my friend Nick that drove up, he got fourth. So another one in. What else? Went and saw Avengers today. We'll do a spoiler-free review of that later.
Oh, cool.
Which is going to mean
Oh, it's so good.
very basic review because
Very
It'll
basic.
be like that Last Jedi review we did.
Yes,
yes,
very much.
Yes, it will.
But I did a lot of Twitch streaming. Started making a lot of contacts with people. Started learning about different Twitch streamers. We've got quite a few talented Twitch streamers that are doing painting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Working on a current project with a bunch of Twitch streamers and other things. So heads up about that, coming soon. What else?
So I totally forgot about my yesterday because, it was only yesterday. And of course, it was International Tabletop Day.
Oh, wow.
So we played board games.
It
and
was.
We played Lords of Waterdeep. And I
Good one.
won by 1 victory point.
Dang.
It was unexpected. I had buildings that when other people used them, they gave me gold instead of resources. And I had a few of them. So I think it was the pile of gold in front of me that helped me win against the person who kept completing a bunch of quests. And then we played Massive Darkness, and it was the first time I had played Massive Darkness. And I kept thinking, wow, this is a lot like Zombicide, and clearly this is a cool mini or not game. And I remember hearing other people mention Massive Darkness, but for some reason in my brain I wasn't connecting with it with Simon. But yeah, it's very similar to Zombicide, so it was pretty easy to pick up. And it was a lot of fun. We won. Actually, we cheated, so
You cheated.
Yay!
technically we died.
Well, I will say, an old friend of mine who's passed, unfortunately, once said, "Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat."
All right.
He meant that in all the best ways, of course.
John?
Beware that first poop.
Yeah, hashtag first poop.
Where's Dan going?
I don't know, but my week, let's see, working. We finished up the Malifaux Slow Grow League. He just, the TO just gave out, the event organizer just gave out prizes to everyone. Like, here, you have this because it goes with what you would use because she just got into getting started. It was perfect for her.
That's cool.
Then the next guy he's like, John, who were you? Which one of you were actually better? I'm like, he was taking it more seriously. He got more points, so he gets next prize. So we all sort of got some prizes. It was cool. Then Friday I saw Infinity War also.
So good.
Then Saturday did yard work and played a game of Legion and hung out with some guys when I figured out where I'm going to move after I move out of here. So that's good.
Star Wars Legion?
Star Wars Legion. Learned that having the correct terrain on the table is probably one of the most important things about that game.
What do you mean?
What?
Terrain. Don't just jump on a 40k table and start playing, because there's a fair amount of terrain, but not the right kind of terrain.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, so like you'd be much better on like an infinity table that maybe you pare back a little bit. You need a lot of that
Yes.
scatter terrain to get some stuff in the way. And I'd be upset that my dice were terrible and Dave's dice were great, but after every game of Star Wars Armada we've played, I fucking deserve that. I deserve every bit of it.
It was the laws of probability were in his favor.
I'm like, I rolled home and someone my buddies watching like, man, that's tough. I'm like, no, dude, I deserve that. I totally deserve it. And then we had dinner. Then today I started teaching my buddy, who's my future roommate, how to play Armada. Sort of the tough love variant. I gave him some tips here or there, like, oh, you could put this on your ship and this. Then we played, and I just let him make his own mistakes so we could talk about it afterwards, and he could sort of learn what he did wrong and figure it out. Because it's really hard to teach a veteran gamer how to play a game. You sort of have to give him a little bit of stuff and point him in the right direction and let him go.
Mm-hmm.
And I did also watch another 1.5 other movies that I can talk about. I actually watched another movie this morning, but I can't talk about it because I talked about it on Minis and Movies. It'll be coming out next week.
Yes,
Moana?
you will.
Jim and I started the second season of Santa Clarita Diet.
Haven't even started it.
I'll talk about it here. The half movie I watched. I started watching Bad Boys when I got home. Figured, I'll have a banana split, watch Bad Boys, and then towards the end of it, I'll have my dinner. Well, pretty much halfway through, I'm like, this movie's just not that good, and the humor is fucking terrible and painful. I'm gonna stop watching this shit now. I got better things to do with the rest of the time before I have to jump on the podcast. And that's rare because I've watched some shit movies. It's just like, keep in mind what I've watched recently. I'm not gonna blame Will Smith. Not Will Smith's fault. I'm not necessarily gonna blame Martin Lawrence, but whoever screenwriter is for that movie, someone needs to smack that fucker. It was all the worst humor. It's just all the awkward, stupid. It's not a fucking sitcom. You're making an action movie. You have to know. It's. You watch this movie, then you'll think about like the second Transformers would be like, oh, we should have seen that shit coming. Because the first one, he got away with it because he just spaced it out well. It hit sort of the right notes. But the second one was like this, where it's just all the humor hits all the wrong notes. It's too much. It breaks up the flow of the story. So I'm watching the beginning, has a little bit of humor here and there, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. I got a little, police detective story with some action and all. This is good. Then it just straight off the fucking cliff, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this anymore. I got better things to do. I got movies to talk about this week. So I stopped watching it. I probably will not complete watching it. I don't think it's worth my time.
To rinse the taste out of your mouth with The Last Boy Scout.
I could do that. But we had to start the podcast at some point, so I didn't have time to watch a whole other movie of that. That's because I'm like, I could put in a DVD, but I want to watch something on Netflix. just pop on Netflix, but I chose poorly.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Dan, where are you going?
Me?
Yes.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, it's like we just watching you rearrange the furniture.
I'm trying to get. I didn't realize how bad. Well, Skype is first of all. Second of all, the lighting in my whole everywhere, as I'm typically either working or hobbying in here. So
Dan, it's okay. It's okay.
but this hair.
You don't have to do anything, Dan. You can sit there and drink. Nobody's going to care.
You look fine.
I also need to make the most of this because the hobby time I get is sparse. So I have to sit down and have the machine not on for an hour or two or however long this is. I'm gonna build shit. I'm gonna make toys.
That's fair. That's actually
I see
that's
what
the
you,
idea.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Jim does while he's doing his podcast. He's painting the entire time. Even though it's not on screen. That podcast is just voice only, and he's just painting because he's getting stuff done while they're talking. So I totally understand that.
I'd like to say something like, when I record minis and movies, I'm working on models. Nah, I'm totally fucking not. I'm not gonna lie.
fine.
I'm focusing
So
on stuff. I'm looking up.
there's-
I'm looking up stuff about the movie I just watched on IMDb and all, finding more cool little facts and figuring out what I'm gonna talk about spur of the moment because that's how I roll.
So there's not much minis in the minis and movies.
I talk about minis. I don't model on minis while I'm doing it. You'd hear a lot of me. Oh, hold on, and then that's not amazing radio. It's actually terrible radio.
Are we radio?
We're
Um,
everything.
Radio and video. My
This is
minis
where-
movies podcast.
We're
is just
killing
radio.
the radio star right now.
You know, MTV's not really around as much anymore. Not really doing videos, so I think actually radio still won.
I think
And isn't
internet
that
killed
funny?
video.
Yes, internet killed the video star. I think there actually is a parody song called that.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, it's true.
MTV was going down and out before the internet.
Are we? Yeah. When they made MTV2 for music videos, I was like, maybe check your mission statement.
Yeah. Wait, music television doesn't mean what I think it means?
What?
It's just in the M is missing from MTV.
Yeah, Xander says podcast saved the radio show idea. I 100% agree with that.
Absolutely. I mean, radio is one of the mediums that has evolved with the times to keep itself relevant.
Yeah. Even like regular ass radio, they have like streaming apps now and stuff like that. The iHeartRadio app
Yeah, absolutely.
is like
Yeah.
a cool thing. It's like
Even just my local WDCB College of DuPage radio streams off of their website, wdcb.org, if you like jazz. And I do.
Fair.
kind of getting some jazz. Oh,
While we get ready for the main cast, I'm gonna run down and get some alcohol because
Oh,
I
is
can
it
use some
time
more
already?
alcohol.
what up?
Yeah,
Hey,
It is
Yeah, it
actually
is.
time to start the actual show.
almost.
Yeah, we made it. We got there.
All right, let's go ahead and,
Right.
guys, we're going to do our normal deal. We're going to reset everything, bring it back up, start the show, and go crazy. Let's go
Yeah.
crazy. Don't go anywhere, guys. Be right back.
I'm
It is show time.